Trinity and Naomi came into the world too soon. They were 6 weeks early. But their destiny was to start the greatest mission on the planet and give you your greatest wish. I'm a second-time around father with 2 in their 30s. Just before Brendan and Danielle were born, I was in a nearly fatal motorcycle accident. Foolishly, I wasn't wearing a helmet. That's where this hand trimmer comes from. Believing I was spared to be their father, I threw myself into it. Parenting classes, the works. What I discovered 30 years ago, even then, was that there was so much missing from parenting education programs. I began to dream of how to get the science out to parents. Didn't follow that path then. Instead, I obtained a graduate degree and became a real estate developer. Then, about 5 years ago, I was blessed with these 2 little princesses. The spark that created the fire for MindEDU happened when the twins were about 2.5. We were at the airport waiting to take a flight. I explained to them how the plane would pull up and the people on the plane would get off and walk through the gate door. This is who they naturally are, on their own. They walked up to the door and with beautiful smiles, waved at every person that got off that plane. I watched as smiles just lit up passengers' faces. I was completely caught up in the beautiful innocence and magic of the moment. So was everyone else. They're mixed race, as you've probably seen from the pictures. I was fortunate my parents brought me up to see the beauty in everyone without regard to their ethnicity, but I know not everyone feels that way. I did the daddy thing. I was reflecting later on the beautiful relationship they have with the world and how the world relates back to them. And the daddy in me imagined them 10 years later in their early teens, thinking of this current world. I envisioned someone seeing my daughters surrounded by loving friends because of their magic personalities in a jealous moment, throwing out words about their ethnicity to try to hurt them. I thought, how can I be there to protect that beautiful relationship when I can't be there? Well, you don't come up with a solution to that with 5 minutes or 5 years of thought. Then a series of events over 30 years culminated in a mission and a solution for all of us. About the same time as our trip to the airport, I started looking for preschools. I was shocked. In 30 years, nothing's changed. Not even the science I knew 30 years prior was being taught. Then I had the ultimate health scare. I'm a rock climber. I've faced fear, but not like that. There's a gift from believing you only have a short time left. What's important? It was my daughters, and to use my time left to get this science to parents and make the world a better place for them. From the world's greatest universities, we've assembled many of the greatest researchers on the planet in early childhood development who have been frustrated for years that their incredible, life-changing science is effectively secret, known by few, almost only published in academic journals. Extraordinary gifts of science, authoritative parenting, the parenting style that's been replicated around the world in hundreds of studies for a child's optimal outcome, executive function that counts for over twice as much variation in grades and success as IQ, and the lack of it most often is diagnosed as ADHD. Theory of mind, how parents experience their children learning to lie as disastrous and not sure how to address it, when actually it's a huge cognitive leap to be celebrated and wonderfully easy to address. And the critical age to teach these gifts? The brain formative years of 0 to 6. But the greatest? I knew of the Harvard study of adult development that Dr. Robert Waldinger presented on the TED stage that now has 30 million views. That study followed the same men for over 75 years, and the women almost as long, to answer the question, what contributes to the good life? The answer they found was one thing: relationships. And here's where this new research makes an extraordinary connection. The best way to teach how to have successful relationships is a set of skills we call social-emotional learning. It's more important than IQ for your child's success in school, in work, in life. And the base of social-emotional learning, the single best contributor to the quality of your relationships? Empathy. Then I had a sudden realization. To give your child your greatest wish, what parent wouldn't give these gifts to their child? Consider what that means. Imagine if our children with these gifts, not stopped by limiting beliefs, could then aspire to be their greatest selves, their happiest selves. Think of the world they would grow up in. It was the solution I was searching for at the airport. How can I be there to protect that beautiful relationship when I can't be there? It was a world my daughters could grow up in. Imagine if 40 years from now, our world leaders given these gifts could aspire to even greater achievements and were more empathetic. Please follow me here. Consider that I'm a second generation off the farm. I'm a former active duty Marine. I've been a real estate developer, a rock climber. My feet are grounded on planet Earth. About 3 years ago, in my mind, I was giving my life back. I don't get this passionate about anything. But what here that I've said is invalid. And if that's the case, realize the gift we've been blessed with. When any of us talk about changing the world, what are we talking about? We're talking about changing people. But people don't change easily. Paraphrasing Tony Robbins, there has to be leverage. Here's leverage. Consider in the entire human experience, universal to all of us. When is it that we are most influenceable? 0 to 6. Now consider in the adult life experience what is universal. When we have the greatest yearning for answers. As young parents, desperately searching for trustable answers. Tens of millions of parents turn to the internet every month, searching for answers. We finally, trustably have answers. I invite you, unlike any time in our history, we have the opportunity to really change the world. Let's do this together. Join these legendary researchers in our mission and help share their work. Let's together make it a better world for your children, for my children, for the world.